Thai English. Take it easy English. In this section, mispronounced English words part 3. It is prepared for those who speak English as their second language.
Espresso. Treat yourself to a yummy espresso shake any time of day. Plumber. A plumber named Otto Grubber out in Archbald listed it. Mojito. The mojito could be considered the Latin cousin of the mint julep. Demon. The social reformer of the past is depicted as a door spinster wielding an axe to break barrels of demon rum. Comfortable. She always felt comfortable around him. Mortgage. They were originally of the nature of mortgage bonds on the national lands. Buffet. A bar stood in one corner and a buffet table in another. Recur. Also, the variations recur with perfect regularity. Plural. Rustings, or more usually in the plural hustings, was the name of a court of the City of London. Raspberry. The strawberry, raspberry, currant, plum, cherry and grape are indigenous. Bruschetta. Bruschetta. But that isn't beans on toast, Rose said. How about making some bruschetta? Parmesan. Parmesan. Dean doused them in enough Parmesan cheese that they looked like Mount Abrams in February. Exhausted. Exhausted. She was exhausted but couldn't sleep. Brewery. Antarctica. Antarctica. In this region appears the Antarctic forest in which predominates the Fagus antarctica and F. Phenomenon. Phenomenon. There are UFO groups which investigate the UFO phenomenon. Specific. Specific. It's easy to identify specific crimes and follow them up. Temperature. Temperature. They can't keep her temperature down. Temperature. They can't keep her temperature down. Rural. Until I was 10 years old, my family lived in rural East Texas. Squirrel. Squirrel. The snow seems to trap me, as it does with a small squirrel I'm watching from my window. Family. The babies were healthy, and by mid-August, they would have 2 new family members. Every day there is much work to be done. Different. There is nothing wrong with having a different opinion. Business. I mean, I could still have my business in town. Several. After several rings, it went the message. Interest. There was little interest in another round of Monopoly. Evening. That evening, all the women got together to wrap gifts. Average. Our kind tend to live much longer than the average human. Favorite. Favorite. My favorite poet has written some lines about England which I love very much. Vegetable. Today I have a vegetable garden in my backyard. Comfortable. I made myself comfortable on the sofa, my arm around Betsy as we all waited for him to continue. Etc. Tim was sent to the grocery store to pick up some basic items, milk, bread, eggs, etc. for his wife. Clothes. My clothes don't fit right. Enthusiastic. Jonathan was enthusiastic enough about his chores. Photograph. Lisa started for her room to get a book to read and paused in the hallway to look at a photograph again. Consider. Consider. It was too far to consider driving every day even if she had a car. Across. Across. A slow smile worked its way across his face and into his eyes. Ask. Ask. I didn't ask about his family tree. Cavalry. Out of the blue, the cavalry comes to the rescue. Dilate. The weather, it is true, does not usually dilate much on the worst of these adventures. Federal. Federal. The postal services and the telegraphs are administered by the federal government. Foliage. Foliage. There is a beautiful foliage and stunning children everywhere. Halloween. Quick-witted Betsy laughed and told the man, who was a frequent visitor, that it looked like a childhood picture of Howie in a Halloween costume. Height. Height. The mountain ridges vary in height up to 4,000 feet. Heinous. Library. But it did not stop the heinous acts he is committing. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Even those who have never seen him on stage may have caught his performances in a number of television commercials, including spots of Singular and Kraft mayonnaise. Minuscule. Minuscule. For $10 more, she was to cover Ridgeway's 400 citizens in the country's only other town if you didn't count minuscule Kelowna, which most people didn't. Nuclear. Nuclear. World War II ushered in the age of nuclear weapons. Perspire. Children perspire less than adults and require a higher core body temperature to trigger sweating.